what I do.
They was talking about replacing black folk. Remember Biden was talking about black people don't matter anymore? The Latinos are the new minority group. Not after Trump. Not after they end this birthright citizenship and ship a bunch of people home and lock a bunch of people up. Oh no, all that is over. Look at all the black entrepreneurs who struggle to succeed in markets dominated by immigrant-owned businesses. They don't even let you in. I don't even see no black women with nail shops. I don't see any black folk who own any hair shops, and y'all the main purchasers of that stuff. You see, they don't reinvest in our neighborhoods. They move out. They get the money and move out. They take our money, and they fail to create any sort of partnerships or opportunities for the black residents. Enough is enough. And let's keep it 100 about this solidarity. We want to be solid. We want to be unified. But many of these immigrant communities are purely conditional as far as they're concerned. They rally for our support when they need us, like doing these ICE raids and these deportation crackdowns. But then they go radio silent when we're gunned down by the police or struggling with economic disparities. Stop resisting, right? Stop resisting. What was he doing? You got black activists who constantly fought against inhumane immigration policies, from Al Sharpton all the way down. We face state-sanctioned violence, but Latino activists stay quiet, or they even side with the oppressive systems. You got these Latino-led organizations that push aggressively for their policies, but rarely include issues that impact black communities, such as prison reform and employment discrimination. They don't care about us like that. And irrespective of the fact that they like our music and our culture, despite the influence that our music and our fashion and our culture have, they like our music, they like our culture, but they don't want us. They want to disconnect us from our culture. You understand that? They want to profit from it. And they still keep the distance social and refuse to stand up when it truly matters. Look at these essays and Latino folk in LA who listen to all this old school black music. You can hear them riding down the street in they lowriders, bumping all that old 1950s Nat Turner, Marvin Gaye, et cetera, and then turn around and practice anti-black racism. Explain that. See, I'm talking about a cycle of selective solidarity, and it's fueling this growing frustration in the black community. We're tired of being the only group that's expected to give without receiving. Shout out to my man, Johnny Harris. The time has come to focus on inward things and protect our interests first. If others won't stand with us, they shouldn't expect us to stand with them. Bottom line is this: we built this and we're taking it back. Black Americans have done enough. Hell, we've done more than enough. We fought, we built, we sacrificed, fought in every wars. We fought from a disadvantaged position. And from now on, we need to focus on, we need our focus to be clear on black interests, because black interests need to come first. And anyone who isn't truly with us is against us. And we can no longer be used. It's time to stop all begging for these alliances and just recognize that it's not going to work. Okay? If we're not fighting for us, don't expect us to fight for you. It's just plain and simple. You understand? We're the backbone of every major social justice movement in this country. Time and time again, we find ourselves standing alone when it comes to our struggles. We've done enough. We have done plenty and enough. Okay? We done. And when these immigration crackdowns come down hard on these immigrant communities, and they call for black activists and black organizations and black voices to come to the front line, no, I don't think we need to answer that call. I think they need to get crickets. Somebody type crickets in the chat room. Because see, these same people who beg for our support shut us out of their businesses and their neighborhoods and their circles and their movements and when the crisis is over. These Latino-led organizations, They aggressively push these immigration reform. They're looking for better access to jobs and political representation. And then they take full advantage of the civil rights framework that Black Americans bled and died for. But do they return the favor? No. We're all the Hispanic mayors and politicians that are standing up, that stood up for Black folk during the George Floyd situation and the Trayvon Martin situation. We're all the Hispanic folk. Look at this mayor of Chicago. And whether you agree with him or not, the mayor of Chicago, the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, look at all these Black men saying, I'm going to go to jail. God darn it. You are so noble. You're willing to go to jail. And you can't find how the hair of one of these Latino mayors and whatnot when Black folks' butts are on the line. Come on, man. I can't even name one that stood up for Black people like that. Mayor Brandon Johnson is one of the most hated men in America by Donald Trump because he said, no, you're not coming to my city to do it. And right or wrong, the brother said this the other day, man, as a Black man who is descended from slaves, I'll be damned if I stand here and support this federal government coming in, snatching brown people out of my city. Damn, man, I can't argue with that. Golly. I'm just saying. Shout out to Mr. Lane. Damn. But where's the reciprocation? Where all the Latino mayors and congressmen and councilmen who stand up for us like that? I'm willing to go to jail for your Black babies. I'm willing to go to jail to keep the police from beating and killing your. Where they at? I ain't seen them. Let's cut to the chase, man. Some of the immigrant communities, especially Latinos and these African immigrants and Caribbean immigrants, they've mastered the art of taking from the Black struggle without giving anything back. Worse, they often perpetuate the very same anti-Black American stereotypes that have been weaponized against us for centuries, hundreds of years. And the false equivalencies they draw between their challenges, you know, that they had to deal with as immigrants and coming from the countries that they came. You can go back. You can't compare that to the systematic oppression that Black Americans have had to endure. Not only you insult our history, but you actively undermine our fight for justice. Come on, man. Many of these immigrant folks arrive in the United States carrying deep-seated anti-Black prejudices from their home countries, where African ancestry and Black skin and darker skin is stigmatized and dehumanized. They avoid our Black neighbors. They avoid, they exclude Black people from social spaces. They perpetuate narratives about crimes and laziness, and they want to align with the white supremacist propaganda. These biases aren't just microaggressions. They're active forms of discrimination, and they make workplaces, they make schools, they make communities, hell, they make prisons hostile for Black people. Immigrant communities hijack our language, they hijack our tactics and our symbolism of Black civil rights, and they fight to fight their own battles, and then they ignore the distinct entrenched suppression that Black Americans have had to face for centuries. They chant our slogans, no justice, no peace. They mimic our activism, but they refuse to acknowledge the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors that they shared to pave the way. They use our progress as a springboard for their own causes, and they leave us out here to fend for ourselves. So, you know, cities like LA, you got immigrants, communities, they've systematically displaced Black neighborhoods, and they were trying to do that to Chicago, weren't they? Shout out to Chicago. They were trying to do that to Chi-Town. Chi-Town stood on business and said, hell with what this mayor talking about. We're going to turn Chicago red. Shout out to all the people in Chicago. They call it the second city, but damn, I met some #1 winners from Chicago. Every person I meet from Chicago is #1, as far as I'm concerned. But they tried it. It didn't work. They know better. See, the hypocrisy is glaring when it comes to these immigrant groups, how they borrow from our struggle to gain a foothold in America. And then they perpetuate that anti-Black hate and race in our daily lives. They live in neighborhoods our ancestors built. They use resources we fought to secure, and then they mimic our culture and ostracize us from their spaces. See, it's time to call this out for what it is. It is exploitation. Black Americans have been the backbone of every social justice movement in this country, and we refuse to be erased, disrespected, or used any longer. We will not continue to be stepping stones for groups who refuse to stand with us when it matters the most.
What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D.
People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You would tune in to Uncle D. This black man talk, pull up homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something and you earn something. Let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. There's a king here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shooting, give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Molly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you've been served, gotta know this. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you've been served, get